Hello, Potato. We've been pretty good this year so far about not buying a lot of stuff from DisneyStore.com, formerly Shop Disney. You actually called it the right thing on the first try for once. But the release of the 70th anniversary for Disneyland merchandise did break us down stuff. And that's what we're looking at today. We did buy some Disneyland 70th stuff, including, of all the stupid things, a $100 pin. Now, that is not technically the most I've ever spent on a pin. I did pay for 4 trips to Savi's workshop just to get a full set of those pins. But we also got 4 lightsabers and each got 2 build your own lightsaber experiences out of that. So I mean, it wasn't just the pin. It wasn't even initially the pin. It didn't become the pins until after we got the first 2 pins, and then I wanted to go back and get the second 2 pins. Today, we have a $100 pin that came with nothing but a pin and of course a box to keep it in, which it doesn't appear to be anything fantastic on its own. But there's a reason they got me on it, and well, I'll say what that reason is if you can't figure it out on your own. But if you know the pin, you know what I'm talking about and you know why. If you watch this channel anyways, you know why. If you know the channel and you don't know the pin, you should be able to figure it out when you see the pin, but I'll tell you. But we also got a couple things that aren't pins. We didn't get all the pins, just so you know. This is not going to be a video of every Disney 70th pin. And sadly, they did not put up the big key blind box thing, which, yeah, I know there'd be a reason not to because I have no way to go around the park and activate it, but we all know there's ways just to pop it open and get your pin out of it. And honestly, I would kind of like the key because it would go with our collection of the store opening keys, which seems to have morphed from being store opening keys to just being Disney keys. Sadly, I don't think we're going to get to the Disneyland this year. Year's half over, and we have no plans to go to Disneyland. And it's a shame because we did go to the 60th, we did go to the 50th. I believe I was even there for the 40th, and somewhere I have a little candy box that says Disneyland 40 on it. But I don't think we're gonna make it for the 70th. But the good news is, again, the merchandise, a lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it is available on DisneyStore.com. So let's start out looking at the non-pin things. It's just a couple, just like 5 things in this video. It's not going to be, it shouldn't be a very long video, but you know how I am. So let's try to go a little bit more downwards to get a good look at these. This first item should be a little surprise to anyone who used to watch the old Weekend Magic videos. It is the Disneyland 70th Anniversary R2. Part of the Droid Factory collection. It is blister packed like an old-fashioned Star Wars figure. I'm going to appear without the ring light just ruining your view of it. Yeah, it's got that sort of pearlescent look to it as far as the color scheme that the 70th anniversary stuff tends to have. And it's R2DL70. I didn't get this year's Pride Droid, but we do have R2DL70. And yeah, it's pretty cool looking. Like all these droids, be they seasonal or Pride, or even just a normal droid, it is essentially just a repaint of a normal R2 figure. But that's to be expected. And hey, if you had some pegs, you could actually peg up a whole bunch. I have a whole stack of these. Not R2DL70s, but of these Droid Factory figures in these kind of blister packs. Here's the words on the back. I'm not going to read them. We've read them a dozen times on this channel. You can pause it and read it if you want. But I don't think, yeah, other than referring to him as R2DL70, I don't think it says anything different than any of the others have. Yeah, picked up R2DL70 to go in my droid collection. Next is something I haven't collected previously and do not intend to continue collecting, but we got the Disneyland 70th Spiderbot from Web Blasters. I know they have been doing these for other things. They may have even been a Disney 100 version of it last year. And yeah, I enjoy Web Blasters. I think it's a fun little, it's a video game. It's a video game, let's just be honest. It's a video game more than a ride, but it's fun. And I like the droid designs, and I like robots. I have no engineering skill whatsoever, but I do like myself some droids and bots. And yeah, it's a little bit, I don't know, it's both bigger and smaller than I thought it was going to be. I've never seen one of the mini ones in person. I don't think they were selling them in the park last time we went. But this is them now. All of them in the park were the big, like toy ones that were actually like walked around and stuff. This one does has motorized movement. We'll never know though, because I'm never gonna take it out of the package. But yeah, it's got that same sort of pearlescent color, pastel color design, golds and blues and purples and yellows. And it says the eyes light up, but I think either there's a activation strip somewhere here that I'm not seeing, or mine's maybe defective, because the eyes don't. I'm going to assume, and you know what happens when you assume, but I'm going to assume that these weren't taken off store shelves, but were taken out of a warehouse, meaning there's no reason anybody should have ever played with it. The box is in certainly good condition if it was ever in a store shelf for any period of time, someone have played with it, but maybe I can feel that this is a switch, not you push the button and hold it and it stays on. It is actually a switch, so it's possible, I guess at some point maybe in shipping, that maybe the shipping packing paper pressed down on it and turned it on and killed the battery before it ever got to me. Or indeed just the fact that it like arrived on a 100-degree day killed the battery. I don't know, but it does look cute. I'm not going to be buying a collection of Spiderbots. I think they're cool, but if I'm going to buy robots, I'm probably going to stick to Star Wars droids, unless of course it's the Hydra Stomper. I do have a weakness for the Hydra Stomper. Now we are on to the pins. There are 3 pins to look at today, all 70th anniversary. And we'll start off with one. This is one that my wife picked out. When there wasn't like a very big rush to buy these things online. I would have expected there to be like Disney Store, like kind of online queues for this. There was no virtual waiting room. Honestly, I didn't even know these were coming out. I just happened, sometimes, at 8 o'clock, I'll go over to the Disney Store site and just refresh and see what new things have been released today in case there's a thing we simply must have. And I saw these had been released, and like, it was weird that I was able to get right in, but I didn't immediately buy anything. I just sent my wife an email saying, hey, did you see these things are out? And eventually she responded that, yeah, she liked this and she liked the $100 pin. And I was very surprised when back the $100 pin was still there. And I'm like, I should buy the $100 pin. And she said, yes, you should buy the $100 pin because X. And X is ultimately the reason I bought it. And we'll go over X momentarily. But she also liked the Mickey and Minnie pin. And since it was all there for like most of the day, I don't know if they just didn't promote it well, or if people just aren't spending that kind of money on Disney stuff anymore, which, current economic situation, I totally understand. I mean, I think that's part of why we don't buy as much from DisneyStore.com right now either is, I think, we're looking at a lot more food and going to museum kind of videos, I think, in our future here until the financial situation sorts itself out. We're still going to have treats. There still will be treats as we can afford them, and currently we still can. So we got the Disney, so it looks like it's for 25th anniversary of pin trading, 70th anniversary of Disneyland, celebrating pins 25. And it is Mickey and Minnie in front of a very, I'm going to say 80s or 90s Dayglow castle. I don't know what that is, because that's not really the same. I guess it is the same colors as are on our R2 and Spiderbot, just maybe not as, like, I don't know, come across as like more Dayglow than pastel. It's giving me like 80s, 90s vibes. But it's nice when the pins for Mickey and Minnie portion of it are nicely rendered. We do have that layer of glitter in there. I saw a thing that showed like how they made these, and like it's just like injecting a little like liquid into all these kind of spots like this, either by machine or by person. Double pin back because it's a fairly broad pin. It's not very heavy, but it's maybe a little on the heavier side. Yeah, it's nice. It's well rendered, and while we're probably not going to have a huge collection of Disney 70th pins, did you notice, have you noticed? There has not been, we're at the end of June now. This video may not come out until July. We're at the end of June when I'm recording though, and there has not been a continuity collection this year. Because last year was Stitch Attack Snacks, right? I haven't lost an entire year of memory, right? So this would be the first year we've not had a continuity collection in a very long time. And given that I don't think Stitch Attack Snacks did particularly well, especially not the Angel portion of it, judging by what they had when we went to the Disney outlet in December, I'm not totally surprised at that. But yeah, no Disneyland 70th continuity collection, at least so far. And I feel like you at least have to do a decade thing, meaning you need to have 7 parts. You could probably squeeze like 9 parts out of it if you do an opening day and a future, and then 1 for each decade, but I don't know, they didn't. The next pin here is obviously my choice, and that is this one, the Hatbox Ghost. Now y'all know that I love Hatbox Ghost. Love me some Hatbox Ghost. We'll buy a Hatbox Ghost thing when there is a Hatbox Ghost thing to buy. And that is foreshadowing. So yeah, if I was going to order stuff, I mean, the $100 pin was going to get free shipping anyways, but if I was going to order stuff, I'm definitely going to order me a Hatbox Ghost pin. Very cartoonishly rendered. Doesn't look much like the ride version at all. They've definitely cartooned him up. He's still creepy looking. That face is still creepy if it can focus. There we go. But it is, and it's more cartoony creepy than the, I guess more realistically creepy he is in the ride. He has the 70th logo in his hat box instead of his head. Probably a better thing to keep in there. Maybe it's a hat. Maybe he wears that on his head when he's not wearing his normal top hat. And I thought he was a weird choice for a 70th anniversary character because Haunted Mansion was not in the park on opening day. It's not a 70th anniversary ride. It just had its, 60th? I think the year before or year after the park had its 65th anniversary. The mansion just had its 60th. It opened in 71, I think. So it would have been its 50th anniversary, not its 60th. So yeah, I mean, the mansion is very much not an opening day attraction. And while Hatbox was in the mansion on opening day, he was gone for a very, very long time after that. So yeah, I'm not quite sure why they picked him as a 70th Disneyland character, except for maybe because idiots like me exist who will buy pretty much anything you put the Hatbox Ghost on. That said, it's a nice looking pin. It is largely absent those 70th anniversary colors. They're there. I mean, we have a big purple star, a smaller pink star, we got a gold star over here. We have some pink, blood splattered on his cape. But it's much more, color-wise, it's much more subdued than Mickey and Minnie here. But that's fine, because, it's got the Haunted Mansion kind of green going to it, too, with his outfit. It's a nice pin. I have no regrets on buying this pin. Now, the question is, will I have regrets in buying the last pin? Because I haven't even looked at it yet. We're going to look at it together now. Here's our final pin of the video, and as I said, I haven't even broken the tape on it yet. I have not looked at it. I figured first reactions on camera are the best reactions, at least when justifying why I bought a $100 pin. Item description: DLR 70 S Jumbo Lepens LEPNCZ. Or is that an I? Is that an I and a period? I can't tell if that's a misprinted L or an I period Eben, because Eben's. Anyways, it does appear to have survived shipping well. It was in the same box with the pins, and they're fine. So let's go into the unknown and look at what $100 gets you in pins from Disney in the year 2025. So there's no particularly special packaging here. It's in a cardboard sleeve, which is fine. You can see the box is sealed, so you can't open it up and look at it without ruining the collector's value of it. But there's no extra, no statues with it or anything, or figurines. It is just a giant pin for $100. Oop, here's where I set up. And it is this. And yeah, do you see why I bought it? Do you see a certain familiar someone on the... It's the same art too, isn't it? It's the same version of him. The same art was used for both. That's funny. I'm not like mad. Don't worry. I'm not like upset about that or anything. I just think it's funny that, because like, Mickey and Minnie kind of got reused too, didn't he? Mickey got mirrored. And Minnie is exactly the same. So yeah, I mean, I suppose if you bought like that 70th anniversary pin board, the justification here would be that you'd buy this to put in the center, and then you'd buy the individual pins of everybody to put on this. Merlin's actually kind of cool. Although I always see him more in blue than purple. But maybe because the purple's more in line with the color scheme for the 70th. And I don't know. But I always see him in blue more than purple. Because they didn't throw Hatbox into gold or anything. This has been nicely rendered. Again, I'm pretty sure then, judging by the fact that these three are the same artwork from the other pins, the rest of the fellas here are probably also from the other pins, it kind of looks like, no, I think it's just like, I say it kind of looks like the 70th anniversary logo here in the center could almost be a separate pin that comes off. It's definitely a separate layer. It's definitely pin on pin going here. But I think what I thought was like maybe like little slots or something are actually just the reflections of the D and the L and the D and the I off of the reflective surface at the bottom of the pin. Box is pretty standard, nothing particularly special about it, but the sort of thing that will, if you hang on to it for a long time, will make it, I don't know, stand out to collectors. It is color-wise in line, packaging-wise with everything else that we have today, except for the Star Wars Droid. That is in the standard Droid Factory card. But everything else, like our Spider Droid, has the same sort of packaging on it. And these were a limited edition of 1,000, which is why I was surprised I was able to get one so easily. I don't know that I've never bought one of these kind of $100 pins because like general principles or because they were too expensive, because gracious, you know that I've spent money on stupid expensive things before, particularly from Disney. But yeah, there just didn't seem to be a big rush to buy the 70th anniversary stuff. It was there for a lot longer. I mean, normally this sort of stuff, you have to fight to buy any of it through their horrible, I mean, better than it used to be, but horrible queue system, and doing the things like that sell out after you've already got them in your bag. And it's just, it's stressful and in a very first world problem sort of way, heartbreaking to do. And this time there was none of that. This was, I think I bought this like 8:30, 8:45. I mean, certainly well after it had been released, for an LE 1000 item to still be available. I guess it just wasn't that popular. It's not a bad pin. It doesn't look bad at all. It is going to probably stay in the box. It's going to go in our little pin vault, well, not little, our large collection of pins, and stay there probably, and either until we die or like until we're ready to retire and want to sell some of the stuff off for cash. But I was just surprised it didn't sell out faster online. And looking at it, it's fairly average, but it's nice. The glitter's nice. The renditions of the characters are nice. And again, like I said, if you bought the pin board, it would look really cool to do this in the center and then do all the individual pins around it. If these works out, that pin board's kind of weirdly shaped, isn't it? I didn't buy that pin board. We bought the one for the Disney 100th, mostly because we knew the Continuity Collection was going to have pins and wanted to display those. 70th doesn't have a continuity collection, therefore no monthly pins to buy or weekly pins to buy, therefore no need for a special pin board for it. Plus other than the continuity pins, we really didn't get very many Disney 100th pins. They released a bunch of them at first. They had like 2 waves of those cool silver ones, and then nothing ever again. And I only ever got like 2 or 3 of those silver ones. It was I was actually very disappointed in that. I wanted more of those silver ones. I wanted to fill up the other side of that pin board with those silver ones, but it just didn't happen. So there we have it, our Disneyland 70th anniversary purchases. Just a few things, expensive, but just a few. I didn't mention, I think, in the other portion of the video, that Hatbox only has a single pin back, as our Mickey and Minnie have 2 pin backs. I guess because they're a broader pin. He's a more round pin than oval shaped. Yeah, fairly meager purchase by the standards of the past, but I'm happy with it. Got some robots, got Hatbox Ghost. I mean, that is clearly, that's the thing. If you put Hatbox Ghost on your $100 pin, then yes, I'm much more open to buying your $100 pin. And I must not be the only person, but maybe there's not so many of us who have $100 just lying about that they can toss at Disney and go, yes, give me the pin that features Hatbox Ghost amongst 8 other characters. 9 other characters. Jiminy's in the middle there. No, it's 8 other characters, isn't it? Has a total of 9 characters, has Jiminy in the middle making number 9. Yeah, so it is 8 other characters. I was right the first time. But I did this time. Can't say I will necessarily next time, but only time will tell. But what do you think? Did you buy any of this? What 70th anniversary stuff did you buy if you ordered stuff from DisneyStore.com? Or if you're fortunate enough to have gotten to the park, what did you pick up? Did you get the big key? I do kind of want to do the big key thing, but I feel like it definitely is a multi-day visit activity. Like, you want to have a day where you can kind of just, you don't mind wandering the park to do the key, and maybe don't focus so much on riding rides. Also, I feel like taking that key on rides is potentially problematic anyway. Same as when we got our lightsabers, we took them back to the hotel before going to try to go on any rides. Yeah, what do you think? What did you buy? Let me know in the comments below. But I hope you found this video all interesting or entertaining. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. I do thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.